Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. You know what that means? Time to play Sea Power. That's all that means. Today we're playing a very special scenario created by one Mr. Finnish Jaguar, or Jaguar, as you may say it, from Finland. He created a realistic recreation of the Cuban Missile Crisis without any kind of air support. Which is the way it was from the Navy point of view. Air Force had their command, Nav Air had their command. The surface fleet had no direct support. It was more of a joint command. And so what we're going to do here today is we're going to play the surface action group that attempted to enforce President Kennedy's quarantine of Cuba. And the reason why I'm revisiting this is not only is this a good, well-balanced and made scenario that is, I believe, historically accurate, there is a similar situation happening right now in the Pacific. There is a potential, it's not been announced yet, but it's probably going to happen soon in the next 2 to 3 years, a quarantine of Taiwan. A customs inspection called an enhanced customs inspection is very likely to happen. And that will be the beginning of what will eventually be conflict over there. There was a very similar and very real situation that happened in the 1960s, and it led to what has become known as the Cuban Missile Crisis. And so that is what we are playing today, and that's why we're playing it today. So the situation is, according to the briefing from the scenario, that the Khrushchevs, which is the leader of USSR at this time, has made the decision, has ordered his merchant fleets to run the blockade and deliver their payloads, which we believe are nuclear capable missiles and maybe even warheads, we're not sure, but certainly missiles, to the Cubans, to Castro. We are also not to engage any Soviet warships, submarines, airplanes. We are weapons hold on those things, not even weapons tight, just weapons hold. Do not engage. But we are to engage. We have permission to fire upon the merchant fleet that is attempting to make its way through our quarantine, not a blockade. That would be an act of war. It's a quarantine, not so bad. It's a legal action. And so they're going to try and run this. We must stop them without starting World War III. So we're going to go ahead and unpause the game. And that's where we are right now. We have a number of air contacts. And I'm going to go ahead and bring those up for you here. This is the overall situation. We do have air. There is Nav Air in the air, but they're not under our command. So we are going to begin by trying to identify all these contacts via the radio and see how they're doing. We have 4 ships under our command. They're not in a fleet. They're independent, working together. And we're going to get on the horn to each one of our radar contacts and ask them to identify themselves. This is the first thing we're doing here. The scary thing about what's happening in the Western Pacific right now is they're using the precedent that the United States set in the 1960s. The quarantine of Cuba is the model for the potential quarantine that hasn't happened yet, of Taiwan. This is a situation I'm watching very closely right now. It's very concerning. I honestly didn't think this would happen until 2028. It might happen much sooner than that. So this is how it was in 1960s. We have 4 ships here. Let's go ahead and talk about our command. So here we have, this is the Joseph P. Kennedy. These are all, or not all, there are 3 of these are Gearing-class destroyers right here. And these are ASW destroyers. They do have an anti-air component to them, but this primary launcher right here shoots the RUR-5 ASROC torpedo. Same with the Henderson here. Back here is the Roberts. So these are our Gearing-class destroyers. Over here is a very interesting one. This is the McDough, and this is a Kuntz-class, a little more modern class destroyer. Now, for historical reasons, we're not going to be using the harpoons that are on this ship. In the game, there are harpoons on the Kuntz class because eventually it did get them. 1962, when we're playing, they did not have that upgrade. So we will not be using our Harpoon anti-ship missiles to engage the merchants. So we do have some anti-air coming overhead. I'm going to ask them again who they are. Again, we don't want to enjoy... We are weapons free on surface ships only, so no matter who these people are, we are not allowed to engage them. So we have to begin identifying some things. Again, we don't have any air assets. So let me check my Kuntz class. That might have an air asset. It would be nice if it did. Oh, I see. Oh, it's not a hangar. All right, these guys are flying right overhead. Let's see what's going to happen here. All right, you see this flight of 5 planes. Looks like they're friendly, like F4s, or neutral F4s. This is the Air Force. What happened was a U-2 spy plane was shot down over Cuba. The pilot died. The Air Force was authorized by the president this morning to conduct airstrike attacks on those SAM sites that fired on and killed our U-2 pilot. Those are the planes returning home from that strike. All right, we have the second set, probably the second part of that airstrike coming along.
Track 7019 is classified neutral air.
Neutral air. Now, they're neutral for game reasons. They would obviously be friendly air. They're just returning home. So Air Force has done its job. It's up to the Navy to do our job. We have to find these 5 ships and sink them. So what we're going to do here, let's bring up the map. Give you guys the big picture of what's going on. We have a couple of unidentified surface contacts. One's fleeing this way. A couple are fleeing to the south. What I'm going to do is, they're not responding to my radio calls. I'm going to get visual identification on these with our surface fleet, which means we got to catch up to them. This is why we make warships fast, folks. So we need to catch up to the target, put eyeballs on them. If they don't stop, we'll contact them via radio. If they don't stop, we will sink them.
Air contact detected. Ahead flank. Maneuvering.
All right, Roberts. We have McDough here. Let's turn him around. Actually, let's radio this guy one more time. I don't want to turn McDough around if I don't have to. We have 3 unknown surface contacts. Okay, he just responded. Excellent. All right, let's bring McDough down. It's unfortunate that these merchant vessels are already through our line of ships. Like, we're having to play catch up with them. So we're going to do that. Let's bring Roberts down here. Everybody's got an assigned task except Roberts. Roberts is going to be our ASW picket. So let's go ahead and slow him down.
Multiple air contacts detected.
Head 1/3.
Multiple air contacts detected.
This is the Roberts here.
Submarine contact detected.
Okay.
Air contact detected.
How do we have that submarine? No active sonar, no towed array. Huh. What sensor are we catching a submarine on? Active passive? Yeah, technically it is. Even though it's not a very good sonar system for passive. Especially at 30 knots, that's not happening.
Track 7023 is classified. Hostile submerged submarine.
All right, we got a problem with a submerged submarine. We are not authorized to engage that. How fast is he going? He's doing 5 knots. And he's turning to intercept these fleeing merchants. All right, I'm going to get on the radio and tell them to stop. Also, how do we have the submarine? I am confused about that. We are tracking detected by passive sonar.
Multiple air
from the Roberts doing 30 knots. I'm going to file a bug report. That's ridiculous. The game is telling me that this surface ship the Roberts. Oh, he's the one I slowed down. Okay, never mind. Still. What's the range on this contact? 28 nautical miles, 48,000, 56,000 yards, 56,000 yards. How? CZ. Convergence zone contact that just faded. Yes. Okay, that's accurate, actually. Huh. Wow. That is really good. Holy shit. Good job. That's not a bug. That's true. That's how that works. Okay, yep. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We clearly have a convergence zone at 56,000 yards. So 28,000 yards is going to be the next one because they double in range. So you take 56,000 yards, divide it in half, you got 20,000 yards. 20,000 yards is 14 miles. So am I doing the math right? Yeah, 14 miles. So we want to put a range circle at 14 miles. It's called an annulus. He's going to be detected. We're going to put a separate marker right here. We're going to see this submarine again if we didn't move. Yeah, that's the thing. Because we're moving, this probably won't work. But I want to put a yeah. Put a little X right there. So how are we going to intercept these guys and not get sunk? I don't know. Who is this guy? Let's get him to identify himself. All right, so this is a quandary. We have to basically drive within torpedo range, I would assume. 1962, Waycoming torpedo, 65 centimeter, 28 miles. Yeah, so that's a problem. So we are going to, if this submarine decides to shoot at us, we're just going to have to evade the weapon and then obviously shoot back. But with what? We have the RUR-5, that's the ASROC. The range, as you can see, of the ASROC is insignificant compared to their Waycoming torpedoes. Yeah. All right, so what's McDo got for us? Or McDonald. Yeah, sorry. I'm saying it wrong. He's got the RUR-5 as well. Same mod, same range. Well, no.
Air, contact detected.
Yeah, same mod, same range. All right, so unfortunately, we're set up for failure here. So we're gonna have to get creative. Where is this fleet going? Well, obviously the coastline. So let's take McDonough and race to the coastline, away from the submarine. We're going to try and just not be within torpedo range when we identify what we think is the merchants running the blockade.
Ahead flank.
So I'm going to have to designate one target to... Yeah, it's going to have to be Roberts. Roberts is going to have to track the submarine somehow. So I want you to drive to the circle. Let's actually just drive straight to it. Math. So if that submarine's doing... If it's doing 5 knots, let's say it's a submerged diesel boat. I'm assuming it's a diesel boat. I have no idea. Probably doing 5 knots. How long is it going to take the diesel boat to travel? 14 nautical miles. We'll say 15 for math reasons. So 3 hours, right? So if it was doing 3 knots and doesn't change course, doesn't change speed, it'll be right around that black X in 3 hours. So if we came here, we could detect the submarine again, passively, mind you, because there's crazy sonar conditions right now. Right about there. What's his range? 5 nautical miles, right? Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume his speed was 5 knots, and he's not going to change that. Whether he's a diesel boat or not doing 5 knots, that kind of doesn't matter. But it's more likely he'll be doing 5 knots if it's a diesel boat. So what we want to do is we want to find the CZ condition. Let's put another mark. Sorry, I'm doing right here. He was about right there, roughly. So we want to put the circle on that intercept point. We want to put our CZ on top of that. That's where we got to go, folks. He'll be there at time 1300. We want to be there at 1300. We're going to be there at 1304 current speed. We're going to get him. That submarine's going to get caught again. So we have about 1 hour to position our units. Let's make sure we're going ahead flank.
Maneuvering eye.
Awesome. We are. Okay. And I'm just going to reposition McDonough as far south as I can in the next hour. He's doing 33 knots. Kennedy's kind of out of the picture because we're trying to catch up to whoever the hell this is. How fast is he going? He's only doing 2 knots. He's probably a fishing boat. He's probably a trawler.
Track 70.
Yes.
5 is classified. Neutral, merchant.
Yep. Okay, turn around. Okay, so he was drawing Kennedy out of the picture. Thank goodness we have Kennedy back. All right, I want Kennedy to race down here. Actually, yeah, you want to get to the circle as fast as possible. Can we get to the circle by 1300? Oh, maybe we can. Yeah, he can be there in... all right, so he's turning around. So we're going to box in this submarine. We may get shot at, by the way. We can't stop that. Yeah. So that's the plan. We want to be right there. We want to be on the edge of that circle. And now we can read some chat. Sorry about that. Had to get the situation set up. Took me 20 minutes. Oh, man. Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great week. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Senate's taking notes. Thanks, man. Who was this? Cold to Miss. Thank you for the 42-month resub. That's a long time. Jeez. Who else was there? There was another one. Central, thank you for the 41-month resub, as well as Canopus with his resub. Really appreciate that. At least it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Yeah, and if you know, you know. Is naval warfare only worrying about ranges? That's a big part of it, because you have weapons range, you have sensor range. Yeah, and those two things must be exploited, if you will, taken advantage of. That's naval tactics. Yeah. What controls those things? Weather, contact speed, technology. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into those. Whenever we play games like this, I distill all that stuff down into ranges and speeds and times. Yep, and that's called tactical. Well, you want to have the tactical advantage, so that's the goal. Unfortunately, we do not. That submarine has a clear tactical advantage on us. Because one, it's probably got weapons free. And we're not. And even if we were weapons free, we don't have a weapon that could hit it.
Air contact detected.
This is probably our other F4 going in for that airstrike on that SAM site. So our hands are really tied here. We're only allowed to engage the Soviet merchants. And just because I'm a human being, I'm not just going to shoot a merchant. We're going to radio them, tell them to stop, get them off the boat, and then we'll sink the ship. You don't shoot on civilian ships even in wartime. You don't do that. wonder why this fishing boat isn't responding. That's actually more common than you would think. A lot of pleasure boat people out there don't pay any attention to their channel 16 radio like they're supposed to. They just don't respond. That will get you a Coast Guard inspection too, by the way. If you don't respond, not that people will tell on you, even though I have seen that, but sometimes the Coast Guard is legitimately trying to reach out to you, make sure you're okay via radio. And if you don't respond, well, guess who's getting a safety inspection? Yeah, you are. So always pay attention to your radio when you're out on the water. All right, I guess we're going to fast forward some time here. I'll catch up on chat again. Isn't it War Crimes Wednesday? Well, we're going to try and not have that today. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, Lady Astrid is here. He says not running into things is also advised. Yeah, that's true. Navigation, big part of it. Communication, big part of it. And that's not just radio communication. Communication within the CIC and sonar, radio, inside those spaces among the operators is very controlled. You don't just chit chat when you're in sonar, folks. You make standard reports. That's what it's called. And each type of contact that you get is a standard report. And you say the same thing the same way, range, course, speed, classification. And that's not the way it is, by the way. I'm not giving that away. But you say that in the same order each time so that when people are listening, they know to expect the course after the speed, after the classification, but before the range. They know the pattern. And that repetition breeds a familiarity that's really important so that you can be doing multiple things while listening to a report that beat for beat. Yeah. And we train on that stuff. Communication is like hammered in, especially on submarines. I assume on the surface Navy as well. But formal communication, every day, in port, at sea, does not matter. You will stick to the IC manual, Interior Communication Manual. Tells you how to say things to each other. And then you have the Sonar Employment Manual, tells you how to say things inside sonar to each other. Yeah. And then I assume that there's manuals like that for everybody else. I doubt if they just made that for us, So yeah, catching these guys is going to be tough. I'm going to have to probably use the Roberts to catch him. Is he doing 30 knots? Why are you not doing 30 knots, Roberts? Oh, because I wanted him to be there at that time. Yeah, all right. So we're going to shift gears on the Roberts. I know where to expect to regain the submarine at 1300, which is an hour in game now from now. So I'm going to go tell Roberts ahead flank, and I'm going to try and position him to intercept these knuckleheads. Oh, wow. 13. That's actually really good. Roberts is our best bet to intercept and identify these two. Henderson here is just trying to chase him down with speed. I see a helicopter hangar. What the hell? Does he not have a helicopter? What the hell's that? Huh. Okay.
Vampire.
All right. So you got your orders, sensors.
Transmit, turn to course. 278, hell my. Transmit active sonar.
I'm going to go ahead and slow him down. We're going to find out who this is. We have a
Maneuvering eye.
probable submerged target right here. Pause. Let's grab the Roberts. Oh, Jesus. Well, that's not good. Well, Roberts is toast. The one good thing about the Roberts is that they have chaff, and the SSN-2, this missile right here, very susceptible to chaff. That's our destroyer right there. All right, will the chaff decoy the missile? We'll find out in a second. That one got decoyed and shot. This one is searching. Yep, got decoyed by the chaff. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, Roberts gets to live another day. All right, we're taking fire from what?
Vampire. Bearing.
It's probably a submarine. Do you have your sensors? I just want to make sure he's got his ears on here. He does. Okay, we are going to have to employ some active sonar.
Transmit active sonar. Sonar eye. Vampire. Bearing.
So we kind of want to stay outside that circle, but that's really hard to do. I wonder if these are shore-based. They should not be. This should be way out of their range. This is a 60 nautical mile bubble. That's way too long. So that's got to be a ship launched. That's what it is. So the Cuban Navy's engaging us. All right, so listen, I'm going to change the rules. We're going to go weapons free on.
Turn to course. Turn to course.
I was trying to get rid of that.
2, 7, 1. Hell my.
Yeah, we're definitely being shot at by the Cuban Navy, obviously. So we are going to engage any warships we find. Again, it probably won't make a difference because we don't have a lot of... we don't have a weapon that can reach that.
Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye.
All right, let's see how the second wave comes. It'd be nice if we got a hit right there. That's a big old fat missile. It's really dumb, too. Oh, shit. Well, that's it. Oh, did point defense get it? It sure did. Holy cow. Let's check damage control. Damn it. Come on. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. Turn that off. Damage control. No damage. This little point defense cannon's got it right at the last second. Good job, Roberts. All right, I want you to slow down and find me that submarine. Let's go to all stop.
Maneuvering eye.
Now, the submarine did not launch those missiles. That's from an OSA or some kind of coastal corvette. He had a total of 4. So that guy's Winchester, but there's probably more than one. OSAs operate in groups. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got more incoming fire. And we got really lucky with that second missile. Well, I guess it would be the 4th missile. The second one of the second shot.
Surface. Contact detected.
All right. I want to know who you are. Okay.
Track 7041 is classified. Neutral merchant.
So I think the OS is somewhere around here, around the center of the circle. Because that Styx missile's got like a 21 nautical mile range. Let's go ahead and move him in here. So this is the area of uncertainty. The big thing is that submarine. There's nothing I can do to avoid getting shot at by him. We just have to dodge his... We have to dodge his torpedo. Okay, so the Roberts came to a dead stop. He's doing a sonar search right now. Let's see if we can hear it. Straight up World War II style. All right, so he's got no detection. So that means we are going to get back at it. Head flank. It's called sprint and drift, folks.
Maneuvering eye. Secure active sonar. Sonar eye.
All right, so he's going to go dark. That's the intent from an acoustic point of view. And reposition. Try to surprise the hell out of the submarine. These guys are keeping their sonars on, making all sorts of noise. Yep. So that the submarine definitely sees them and has to spend time, energy, mental calculations, getting the localization of multiple active targets, while one of our 4 active targets is quietly hopping around and then lighting off his sonar, going dark again, and repositioning. That's the tactic. Remember, back in this day, there were computers, but they were very basic. So a lot of this calculation was done by human beings. And you can overwhelm them, especially if they don't have good discipline like we talked about. And of course, experience is huge. We don't know the experience of that submarine, but I'm going to surprise the hell out of him with the Roberts and shoot him. Which means I need to be right here at 1300. Oh yeah, with that missile exploding right there by the... That missile exploded right next to this area. Any crew members out here, which there wouldn't be any in wartime, in battle stations, I mean. And then there's Kevlar armor. Well, on the Perrys, we had the Kevlar armor. I assume we had it on the gearing. I'm not 100% sure. But these are not simply sheet metal ships. These are... there is some crew protection. This is interesting about the gearing having this garage door right here. I mean, I assume that's for logistics support. I've never really paid attention to that until, like, this morning.
Surface contact detected.
All right, let's find out who he is. Oh, there. Oh, what? Damn it. Radio. Okay, reach out to him. Let him know that he's violating a quarantine.
Multiple air contacts detected.
That's our F4s returning home. I wish they would help us shoot down the missiles. That'd be nice. Or give us some VID information on the contacts. They must be flying over the Cuban Navy. They must be. At least let us know who's out there. Who are you seeing? But that's the point of this scenario, the way that it's designed, is that we don't have a direct communication in 1962 from the operational commander of these 4 ships to anyone in the Air Force. All the chain of command, and it still kind of works this way to an extent, goes up the Navy chain of command to where it goes across to the Air Force and then back down again. And that's not done fast. Yeah. Now, 2025, that is all streamlined and electronic. You can pick up the phone on any U.S. Navy combatant in the world and talk to just about anybody you want to in any force. And that's really awesome. All right, so he's not answering our calls, and he's maneuvering. This guy might be hostile. This might be the ship that was shooting at us. Oh, I'm going to mark him as hostile, but again, we can't use the harpoon missiles, so we just got to get within gun range of him. Now, why am I marking him hostile? He's in the vicinity of those shots. He's a maneuvering target. He's changing course. As you noticed, a lot of these merchants do not change course. So the game is marking the merchants as hostile for me. That's interesting. Wonder what kind of gunfire range I can get out of the Henderson. Your 5-inch gun. Oof, not bad, not bad. How about you up here? Same range, but...
Contact detected.
So there is more than one for sure. 5-inch gun. Man. And then you. Oh, hey. We can do it. We can do it. I'm gonna manually tell the Madonna to engage in surface mode 2 salvo against this merchant.
7. Engage track 7009. Salvo fire.
This is a surface-to-air missile that we're going to shoot against a merchant to get his attention. This should not sink him. What's our battery? 40 missiles? Okay. He's closing range a little bit and then repositioning to fire here. That's what's happening. It was right on the edge of weapon range. We'll see what he does. Yeah, the harpoons weren't a thing in 1962. That's why we're not using them. The purpose of this is to realistically recreate the limitations we had in 1962 to implement the actions and orders, conditions of the Cuban Missile Crisis. It was really tough for the Navy. And we're really lucky that it didn't get much worse. I guess it was a tough day for the Air Force, too, because they lost a U-2 pilot. I mean, that's obvious. You know, beyond that, nobody was having a good day. All right, I'm going to have McDonald check fire because I'm not sure. I'm going to have him manually close range, so he's definitely within weapons range. I'm just checking out the Henderson here. He's trying to catch up to those merchants, get them within weapons range. Because the only weapons he has is the 5-inch gun on the bow. And back here. He does have torpedoes, but those are very short range. What's the speed here? 5 knots? 8 knots. I'm looking at the speed of these radar contacts. This one hasn't maneuvered. The one that I'm checking down here in the lower right. So that's why I haven't made him hostile yet. He is in the vicinity of where those missiles came from. These are the ships that are running the blockade. You can clearly see the military equipment on board. This fuel truck will burn real nice. So my objective is to set these guys on fire with those missiles, and then that will slow them down, I hope. And then the other ship behind them will catch up, let the crew get off, and then take them out with gunfire. That's the plan. The fly in the ointment there is the submarine. We know the submarine's there. We're going to be within torpedo range while all that goes on. So the key is going to be early detection of that weapon launch, and then simply outrunning it. Yep, that's the plan. Hey, good morning, Renault. How's it going? Yeah, welcome everybody from YouTube. That's right. We're on both YouTube and we're on Twitch. We simulcast or whatever you want to call it to both. This is by far the most popular game we stream is Sea Power. We do Sea Power every Wednesday, so you can always catch us here. And we do usually a couple hours, you know. Hey, Canopus, thank you for the super chat, by the way. He says the Fram Gearing class destroyers carried an OH-50 drone. Oh, that's right. If you're talking about the Navy testing, the Navy was testing unmanned drones in the 1960s. And it was purely a project program. It never went into production. But that's how long the Navy's been kind of thinking of the idea of unmanned vehicles for sensor employment primarily, which was what that was. And then if you think of a torpedo, a guided torpedo is very similar to a drone. Technically different. That's why we don't call drones torpedoes and vice versa. But so the idea of unmanned technology employing weapons, deadly force, technically not new. But what they're doing today in terms of drone warfare is brand new. It's really pushing the edge. And do you know who's leading that? This may blow the mind of a lot of you. It's Turkey. Yeah. Turkey's drone program is incredibly advanced and productive. They're making a lot of indigenous drones, giving them to Ukraine, which kill Russians with, and developing the technology, pushing the boundaries. And it's really awesome that they're doing that. Thank God they're in NATO. They're our partners because they're very prolific. And if you compare a Turkish drone to the Iranian drones, it's like generational leaps. You know, the Turkish or the Iranian drones, definitely generation 1 drones, like the Shahad. They're very, effective within their weapons envelope, which is limited. But they're not sophisticated at all. And they don't need to be. They're generation 1 drones. The drones that Turkey's coming up with are pretty advanced, very advanced. And they can make a lot of them. That's the other thing, is they're pumping them out. Wish we had drones in this scenario. That'd be nice. All right, so we're getting close to stopping. Oh, I need to do this. This is the Roberts here. This is our ASW, our primary ASW platform. Is this guy. He's doing our sprint and drift sonar tactics to find that submarine. We're about to surprise the hell out of that submarine. But before we do that, I do want to re-engage. This is our Kuntz class. Yeah, it is Kuntz class. It's McDonough. And we're going to engage now a salvo of 2 against this ship. He's well within range. He should shoot. Once these weapons are in the air, we'll take care of the sonar employment. No fish, not yet. May not be long, though. So this launcher back here will get a weapon on it when he's ready. Let me check this range again. Oh, you know what? Yeah, he may be outside surface engagement range. I think that red circle might be for air contacts, possibly. Maybe that's why he's waiting. Huh. No, that should be gun and torpedo range. Yeah. Let's make sure his radars are on. They are. Interesting. Let me read the write-up on this guy because I might be misunderstanding something. Okay, so this is the Kuntz class destroyer. We're firing this RIM 67 Alpha. The write-up on the 67 Alpha is an anti-air, anti-surface missile. We're using this in anti-surface mode. I'm wondering if the anti-surface mode has a very short range. The range is 45 nautical miles. And it doesn't specify anti-air or surface in that description. In the write-up, it says the standard missile extended range, which is what we're firing, was developed as a new effector to replace the Terrier missile system. As such, is visually similar, but the late model RIM... Okay, it's visually similar to the Terrier. Boats it boosts highly improved seeker and guidance performance against anti-ship missiles and against aircraft. So nothing in the description about a different range for anti-ship. It does have a minimum range, which
7042 is classified. Hostile warship.
all right. Now that we've cleared up that we're definitely within weapons range, let me figure out who this other warship is. Okay, it's the Comer. All right, this is the guy that's shooting these missiles at us. This is the predecessor to the OSA. Has literally half the payload of the OSA. Similar performance. He's already expended these missiles. Now he's trying to get, I think, within ballistics range of that cannon, which is a bad call. He's not going to have a good time doing that. But I'm glad he's doing that. This guy's probably a Comer as well. Okay, let's have you slow down. I'll stop.
I'll stop. Maneuvering eye.
Light off the sonar.
Transmit active sonar. Sonar eye.
I expect to get sonar or submarine contact on this one. There he is. Oh my God. Pause. Holy shit, he's close. Oh, it's a torpedo. Doggone it. What's the range to the incoming weapon? That's not good. All right, so we're telling the Henderson to check fire.
Cease fire. Track.
Not that they were firing at anything, but I just want to make sure that they definitely evade to the east. Torpedo evasion, max speed.
Submerged submarine. Contacts detected.
Yep. So early detection is important. Range of these weapons is at least 8 miles minimum. Let me get my circles straight here. Hold on. 8 nautical miles is right there. So we want to manage getting out of the seeker cone at the same time as opening range. And is this a wake-homing torpedo? Yes. So the moment it sees the wake, it's going to home in on us. So we want to maximize range, which is that course there. Okay. We knew that we were going to be shot at. I wonder if it'll let me do a blind fire.
Welcome aboard.
We'll go.
Okay, it looks like it's going to let me go. I'm going to just return fire in the general direction of that submarine, just to keep it evading. I don't have sonar contact here. I'm a little surprised at that. But we did get submarine torpedo contact, so that's important. So you're going to speed back up, turn off your sonars.
Secure active sonar. Sonar eye.
Head flank.
Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye.
All right, let's head back to our Kuntz class and try and get him to actually shoot his guns. Or shoot his missiles, rather. Okay, target's right over to the left of the ship there.
Engaging track 7009.
Again, it says weapon too far. I don't know why. Or target too far. The target clearly is not too far away. I'll see if he'll shoot the Comer. Let's cease fire.
Cease fire. Track.
Engage Comer.
Engage track 7042.
Should put a weapon on the rail system here. This is a twin rail launcher in the back. We used those all the way up until the 1980s. They were even on the early, the Batch 1 Ticonderoga had these twin rail launchers. And then what replaced this eventually was the vertical launch system. We use the Mark 41 VLS now in the U.S. Navy. It's a very good system. We export it to Japan and other navies. Much faster than using a rail launcher. So the reason why we lost track of those torpedoes is because the Roberts was detecting them with, I guess, active sonar. Shouldn't have been, but whatever. And now that they turned their sonar off and sped back up again, we've lost track. But we kind of know where they're going. Matter of fact, I'm going to move the line right here to kind of mimic the course. These are small things you can do on the map to help you keep track of things. I believe the torpedo launch was right there. Aha, we found him. There he is. That's a noisemaker. We know his speed now. It's been 30 minutes. That's important. He went from here to here in 30 minutes. He went 1 nautical mile in 30 minutes. He's doing 2 knots. Probably 3. Okay, definitely a slow boy. He's not really going anywhere. He's out here listening. Let's put a weapon on this motherfucker. Everybody's out of weapons range. So now we do know the launch point of the weapon. So we can actually adjust this and take it out to 16 nautical miles, which is probably the range of the weapon. Some way coming can go over 20 miles. I'm hoping that that's not one of these. Okay, no. So what he's doing is that submarine is evading that Mark 46 torpedo right now. Probably successfully. It was a shot in the dark. Yep. I'm going to move Kennedy in here. And it's really interesting that McDowell's still not shooting. And when I say interesting, I mean I'm a little concerned. Why are you not shooting? It keeps saying the targets are too far. No, they're not. They're not too far at all. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. He's still closing at 33 knots. It's good. This is our ship that's evading the torpedoes right now. He's on the best course at the best speed to basically get out of the way. All you can do with a way-coming torpedo once it's on your wake is outrun it. You cannot decoy it. It does not care about decoys. It doesn't see decoys. You can chuck all the decoys in the water in the world you want. Against a way-coming torpedo, it will never see them. I can't tell you why. I can just tell you that's the way it is. So you got to outrun it. That's what he's doing. And way-coming torpedoes, modern ones anyway, a lot of them are the 65 centimeters. They got a ton of gas. They'll run for an hour. So guess who else is running for an hour? You are. Which is kind of the point. Some of these way-coming torpedoes are area denial torpedoes. They're denying our pursuit of these merchants with this weapon. If they get a hit, that's great. But it's already a successful attack because our closest ship that was getting ready to engage those merchants with disabling fire has now had to evade. Great. It was a great attack by that submarine commander. Too bad he's on the other team. Too bad.
Track 7045 is classified.
Yeah.
Hostile warship.
So what that is, these 2 combers are the ones that shot the Styx missiles at the Roberts. So we're going to close to engage, which is what we're kind of doing here. I'm just trying to get McDowell in some kind of weapons range. I really don't know what they're thinking. That might be a bug. I hate to call things bugs when it might be a limitation I'm not aware of, but weapons range is not a limitation at this moment. And unfortunately, here at the bottom, you see right there, it says target too far. That's not true. It's not too far. Okay, so all we can do is wait on those torpedoes. Our Mark 46 has not locked on to anybody. It's just doing a... Let's see what kind of search it's doing. Should be doing a... what's called a helical. And, oh, it's actually running straight. So that's an indication that it got a sniff of something. It's also changing depth. It's tracking something. This is amazing. Okay. Now, it could be homing in on a noisemaker. It may not be a submarine. But the fact that this thing is even homing in a direction is unexpected. Oh, it is changing course. I take that back. It could be doing just a very large circle. It's so large that you can't even tell that it's turning. But if you look at the data, which I'm covering up with my body so you can't see it, sorry.
7047 is classified. Neutral merchant.
Another neutral merchant? Yeah, okay, those are fine. So we have one guy evading. That's the Henderson. Kennedy's closing in from the east. Roberts is closing from the south, getting ready to pop off sonar. And we're trying to get McDonough into some kind of weapons range so he can play in our little scenario today. That's this guy right here. He should be lighting off his missiles, and he's just not. And I don't know why.
Ceasefire.
All right, I'm gonna have him cease fire. And what course was he on to fire? It was about the same course he's on now. It wasn't much of a change. If you notice, he did a slight course change once I said ceasefire, which meant that the course he was on was the course he thought was best to close range to engage, which is very close to the one I have him on manually. So I'm going to just leave it like that. There's likely going to be another weapon shot. I wonder how close the Kennedy is to a torpedo shot here. Let's just check range. Oh, wow. Okay, now it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute because that submarine is in this little box right here. Matter of fact, he should be at 1,300. Oh, my gosh. He's going much slower than I thought he was. Right there. So game time is 12:37 in the afternoon. Local. Local? That's Zulu. Let's go to local. It's 06:37 local. It's in the morning, breakfast time. Everyone's eating on station. This is a very common thing. We used to have meals brought to us in sonar because we wouldn't get up, we wouldn't leave. All right. So I love this scenario. This is very good because of the rules of engagement make it very difficult. And we have apparently, I'm going to call it a technical failure of the weapon system. You know, those things happen too in real life. Not all your equipment always works all the time. Even Americans, I hate to admit it. We do our best to keep everything working, but sometimes it doesn't. And that appears to be what's happening with McDonough. So we're going to role play it as if there's a technical issue with that weapon system. Which is a shame, but hey, it happens.
Multiple air contacts detected.
Damn. Okay, he's almost within range. Are we slowed down yet? Let's go ahead and slow down. We're going to do a sonar search now. I'll stop.
I'll stop. Maneuvering eye.
He's about to get into a gunfight with that smoke on the horizon, but I want to do a sonar.
Submarine. Contact detected.
Got him. There he is. Oh, he changed course. He's heading towards the weapon. I take back what I said about him being smart. He's heading towards our torpedo. That's great. That torpedo, if it doesn't run out of fuel, might get a hit. Okay, I love the course of the Kennedy. That's great. We need to start engaging these corvettes with the Roberts. Okay, let's speed up first. If you're going to get in a gunfight, you want to be at a standard bell.
7054 is classified. Hostile submerged
Did he shoot again?
Ahead standard.
Did he shoot again?
Maneuvering eye.
I'm just saying if there's another submarine, I don't know where. Okay, no. So they just confirmed. I don't know how, but they confirmed my classification, which is fine. What the fuck? All right, let's mark this new location. He's going to go off the map here. Oh, that's a second weapon shot. That's exactly what that is. So he did shoot again. Yeah. Oh, it's a noisemaker. Never mind. It's not a torpedo. It is something that's not the submarine that he just produced. We know exactly where he is now and put the marker right on him. Okay, this torpedo's not going to get a hit, but he's distracted by the Henderson now. He's in a tail chase against a ship that he will never catch. This Henderson's much faster than that submarine is. He's not faster than the torpedoes, though. But as long as he's chasing the Henderson away from these merchant vessels, we're going to blow these guys to kingdom come with the Roberts. All right, what's your range? Are you in gun range yet? Yes.
Engage track 70.
All right, we're about to do work.
Whip it away. Track 7.
Oh, shit.
4.
Are you shooting? Don't shoot torpedoes, you dumbass. All right, I got to talk to them. That torpedo is an anti-submarine torpedo. It can never hit a surface ship. It will never go above a certain depth. I might have told him to do that. I did. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. All right, that's operator error.
Engage track 70.
I picked the wrong weapon system when I said engage. Yeah, that guy will never hear the torpedo. He doesn't have a sonar system, and the torpedo will never hear him because he can't. That was 100% my fault. I did that. Oh, we hit him already. Good gunfire. Oh, hell yeah. Mark on target. Holy shit. Well done.
Multiple hostile submerged submarine. Contacts detected.
All right, so he's shooting again. Looks like it. No, multiple noisemakers. Damn. Good shot. Robert's having a good day.
Hit track 7042.
Nicely done. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to keep an eye on these noisemakers with this ship as the Henderson evades. Because what I'm afraid of is that submarine that's currently evading, that Mark 46, is going to shoot at this ship, and we won't see it coming if he doesn't slow down. So I'm just going to take a minute to do that. I'll stop.
I'll stop. Maneuvering eye.
Light off sonar.
Transmit active sonar. Sonar eye.
Okay. Let's go back to the Roberts. Roberts, we're going to fire and adjust Sierra 1-5.
Engage track 7045. Salvo fire.
Those 4-5. Kennedy's tracking the torpedoes now, not the Roberts. And they're noisemakers, not torpedoes. Henderson is still evading because those torpedoes that we did see are definitely still running. We just don't know what mod of torpedo it was. It was either a 16 nautical mile mod or it could be the 20 nautical mile mod. Either way, we're going to run 20 nautical miles to make sure that we don't get hit.
045.
Run, little tin can. Uh-oh. What happened? Uh-oh. You on fire? He's trying to get outside weapons range, but ain't going to happen. This is really good. This is accurate gunfire from Roberts. It's really hard to hit a ship like this. Bobbing around in the seas. Yeah. Very difficult. Oh, damn. He's down. All right, Roberts. Ceasefire, ceasefire.
Ceasefire, track. Turn to course 193. Hell my.
Head flank.
Ahead flank.
Close range, Sierra 1, 6, 1, 9, 0, 9, 0, 9. 0, 9 is going to be our next target. I'm going to leave Madonna as a picket here. What's this? Is it the Air Force coming in again? Yeah, it is. Air Force is still bombing the hell out of Cuba, by the way. That's hilarious.
Neutral air.
Get some, boys. Now, this submarine is going to be a tricky little guy to get. Obviously, if we had a helicopter, even just one, we just hunt him down and get him. Like, we can see him. We just can't get close enough to shoot him without receiving incoming fire. And the range differential is about 5 nautical miles. So we have to get shot at for 5 nautical miles, get a shot off, and then run 20 nautical miles before a torpedo doing some 40 knots hunts down our ship doing 33 knots. Do the math on that. That's a very tight window. I would suggest that it's a negative window, that you basically can't do it. This is the advantage that our submarines had in the Cold War, which was incredible. Take this situation and keep those ranges pretty close to accurate, but with the American sonar systems, and I'll just say NATO in general, but definitely the ones that I was a part of, we had a range advantage on top of a weapons advantage. It was nice. Yeah. We were going to shoot them before they even saw us. In this situation, we can see him. We just can't get close enough to do anything about it. But these merchants are going away. These guys, yeah. Are they speeding up at all? No. Well, they're probably at their maximum speed right now. It's 19 knots. And we're going to close range. And once we disable this one, it'll be interesting to see if that one stops. You don't just sink a merchant vessel, even a supply ship. But we'll see what they do. We're not in weapons range yet. But we're going to check it, though. Can't believe I shot a torpedo. That was really dumb. Yeah. Okay. Someone's probably going to clip that and be like, see what he did? He doesn't know what he's doing. Which is true. Yeah, in that case, I didn't. If I did know what I was doing, I wouldn't have done it. All right, so we know the submarine is here. So I'm going to make this an area of uncertainty. An area of uncertainty is an area in the ocean that you mark, and it grows over time. So we know the submarine is doing 3 knots. I'm going to round up and say 5 knots. And so he was here. I'll give him a 1 nautical mile area of uncertainty. And then you add it with time. It's been, in-game time, it's been 15 minutes since he fired. How far does a target go 5 knots in any direction in 15 minutes? Well, it's just over, at 5 knots, 1 nautical mile. So every 15 minutes, I'm going to have this thing grow 1 nautical mile, roughly. And I'm really doing ballpark math there, forgive me. That's not precise, but that just gives you an idea of what an AO is. Can I make this a different color? Like in sonar and CIC where we do the math, which is all done by computers now, by the way, we can change the colors of the circles. I'm just curious if that is even a thing here. I don't know. I don't see a color option. Okay. That'd just be nice if they let us do that, because different colors mean different things. And that can change from command to command too, you know. It's not like a Navy thing. So we're in a race against these merchants, and we're winning. Roberts is going to eat good today. They already got 2 kills. And we can see the targets on the horizon. If you look closely, see that little bump right above my cursor? That is the target. That's one of the 2 merchants. Yeah. Ernest says the pilots declined firing quota due to technical issues. Yeah, that's what we're simulating with McDonough here. McDonough has a clear shot on these targets and just won't do it. I'll give him another opportunity. Right now, he's heading to a waypoint is his current order. I'm going to say engage with the RIM 67 Alpha, one shot, so it's not complicated. One bullet, one missile, push the button, and your target, oh, actually target's now outside range. Now that's interesting. The red circle changed. Why did it change? Okay, so we know, according to the description, the range of these missiles is 45 nautical miles. That's what the game thinks the range is, which is accurate. 45 nautical miles is right there. What circle is that? That's the red circle. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a technical issue. I don't know what else to tell you. And again, we could, they do have the harpoons, but they did not have harpoons in 1962. That's why we're not using those. But these merchants will never make it to shore. That's for sure. They're not going to make it. The big thing here is doing the math on that submarine. And this is all ballpark math. This is not exact science. It is an exact science in reality. What we do here in video game world is ballpark math. All right, so Kennedy's doing that sonar search, lost all targets, all contacts. I'm going to have him speed back up again. Head flank. Yeah, turn off your sonar.
Active sonar. Sonar eye.
All right, and navigate, speed, ahead flank.
Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye.
All right, so we're outside the weapon circle now. I'm going to have the Henderson come parallel of the incoming weapons and see if we can get a detection. I'm going to have them slow down for this. Those torpedoes are likely out of fuel. In other words, they won't even show up. But we're going to check before we go running back inside the weapon envelope. We're not just going to do it. So this is a good torpedo evasion. And this is what we're going to have to do with this submarine, is keep the submarine occupied from the east contacts so the guys in the west can come up behind the submarine and hammer them. This is why MPA is so important. Maritime Patrol Aircraft. We really need, if you don't have another submarine to sink another submarine, you better have air assets. We have neither of those. All right, let's go ahead and slow down. I'll stop.
I'll stop. Maneuvering eye.
He's already got his sonar on. I don't need to turn it on. We're just going to see if we can get any detection here whatsoever. I think someone in chat's trying to say that the anti-surface range is different than the anti-air range, which I would agree with. What I don't know is what is the difference, because it didn't say it in the description. So, what's his name? Gordon, over there on YouTube, if you're still here. Whenever I go to McDonough and I select their RIM 67 Alpha, we have the red circle, the blue circle, the green circle. Are you saying, and I think you are, this blue circle is the anti-surface range of that missile? It's that much of a difference between surface to surface versus surface to air engagement? Or are you talking about something else entirely? I could be misunderstanding you. I don't know. I think someone's trying to help me out understand the range circles for the RIM 67 Alpha, because the description doesn't really explain. Whenever we hit RIM 67 Alpha here, it gives me a range, a minimum range and a maximum range. It doesn't specify that that is against anti-surface. It obviously would be against anti-aircraft. It's a surface-to-air missile. But in surface-to-surface mode or anti-surface mode, I would expect the range to be a little bit different, maybe 30 nautical miles. And the reason for that has nothing to do with the missile motor. It has to do with the radar that's guiding it. these illumination radars back here, these two radar, these have to have contact on that surface vessel to guide the missile to it. So the missile's got plenty of boost and energy to get 45 nautical miles. But if it doesn't have a target illuminated with these radar dishes, then it won't hit it. And I think that's what Gordon is saying. I think. Because and he would be right. So let me, I see people are typing again. I'm going to give them a chance to explain. I do appreciate the help, by the way. Yeah. Always learning. While we're closing range here. We just passed by the two ships that we sank, and they're not even, visible. I mean, I can see line of sight. Actually, let's get radar height. Like this guy, if he had those missiles, he would be within range, because this illumination radar, if it was there, it's not, can clearly see that ship on the horizon. And what we're doing is we're closing like this. Okay. Let me catch up on chat, because YouTube is trying to explain this to me, which I appreciate. Yeah, Narth agrees that surface-to-air missiles longer range than surface-to-surface. I agree with that. So Floyd's saying the circle will change, and that's what was confusing me is whenever I select the weapon, single shot. Okay, I'm not hovering over any target right now. You can see that's the Air Force right there. Don't worry about them. You can see where the red circle is, right out there. Now I'm going to hover over this merchant. Oh, it did change when I did that. I must have bumped my mouse when I was talking, which is likely. Okay. That's exactly what it is. Okay. So it does show you the range when you mouse over it. I wish it said whatever this range is. I'm going to write this down because this is important freaking knowledge for like future gameplay. What the hell is this range? Is it 20 nautical miles? That's a 20 nautical mile circle. Let's mouse over here. Yeah, that's what it is. Write that shit down, Aaron. And put that shit in the game, in the description. 20 nautical miles for RIM 67 Alpha. And I'm just curious if I select a different target, if that changes. Oh, it does. It depends on the target. I'll be damned. That's really cool. That's very detailed. We're getting into simulation level. Yeah, wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. So it's not always 20 nautical miles. That's the important part. It's not a static range. It does depend on the target aspect, which would change your radar fix on it. Awesome. That's really good. That's okay. Now that I understand it, I appreciate it much better. Thanks for explaining it, by the way. People on YouTube are really smart. They know what they're talking about.
Track 7060 is classified. Neutral air.
Right.
Track 7059 is classified. Neutral
All right.
air.
ASW search is complete. Let's go ahead and turn off sonar and speed back up.
Is classified. Neutral air.
That's a whole wing of Air Force that they're talking about there.
Flank. Maneuvering.
All right, I'm going to go in and try and trigger another shot. Air Force is right there. What is, man, I'm definitely within weapons range of that torpedo, I think. What is this circle here? 15 nautical miles. Yeah. So Kennedy's getting within torpedo range of that submarine right now. I'm tempted to have him slow down because if he gets shot at, nobody's in position to see the torpedoes except him. And if he's doing 32 knots, the torpedoes will probably be hitting him about the same time as he hears them. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get rid of this range circle because That's confusing. We don't need these X's anymore. You always want to keep your plot as clean as possible so you're not confusing yourself. I kind of know where that submarine is. He's right there. He's not going fast. This is the area of uncertainty I've got for him. Has it been? Yeah, it's been another 15 minutes. So we're going to kick this out to 3 miles. He's somewhere in that circle. As long as he didn't change his speed. That's a big if. Because submarines tend to do that, especially when they're going tactical on your butt. And so this circle is his torpedo range. Kennedy's clearly within torpedo range. I'm really loving this scenario, by the way. Finnish Jaguar did a great job. If you follow the rules of engagement, it's really challenging. And if you notice, I want to bring this up here. It's not huge. There's not 100 contacts. This is a very concise, efficient, well-built scenario. I've got people sending me scenarios, which I appreciate. Please continue to do that. But they're behemoths of a scenario. Hundreds of contacts. And I love that, but this game is built on the Unity engine, folks. And there are some game limitations that no software code's going to fix. They can cleverly work around things, which they're trying to do, by the way. But you're not going to recreate Red Storm Rising. You may do a small battle, but not the whole thing, which is what some people are trying to do. Now, this game is getting better and more efficient. They're working on it every day. So don't think that it's always going to be like this. It's still being worked on. So we're doing a sonar search now pretty much for self-defense because there's a good chance there's a weapon in the water that we don't see. And Kennedy's the closest one to where that would be. So he's doing a sonar search. Now, we're about ready to engage this merchant here. Let's see if he's in range yet. He surely is. All right, I'm going to hit the guy in front.
Engaging track 700.
This should not take long. Actually, we're just going to watch the target. There should not be too many misses here. This is a big target. And we're literally shooting from right there. You can see that's the Roberts shooting at him. Notice the flight time. Yeah, it's taking a minute before these shells splash.
7009.
Look, that second salvo already hits. All right, I'm going to contact his buddy, tell him to stop. Wow, he doesn't even have his radio on. Never mind. Okay, well, you see that? That's going to happen to you if you keep going. Let's see if this guy's... If he's got his radio... No, he doesn't have his radio on either, so I can't tell them to stop and evacuate, but they should get the message. I mean, it's kind of clear. If they start putting lifeboats in the water, we'll stop shooting. That's the plan. Hey, we found it. Incoming weapons. Check it and see. Run away from those, please. Let's make sure he's doing change your speed. Damn it. Change speed, head flank. All right, so he's doing torpedo dodging again. Kennedy's watching it happen. So our submarine, this is called target fixation. He's fixated on the Henderson, which is really good for us. Really good. So Kennedy's going to leapfrog. Turn off your sonar first.
Secure active sonar.
And then kick it in the butt.
Hit track 70.
Ahead flank.
Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye.
All right, let's get back to the target. He's still not sunk. Won't be long, though. Now, the scenario said there was 5 of these merchants. I only see 2. He's definitely sinking.
Hit track 7009.
Hey, Renault, how's it going? Oh, secondaries. That's a good sign. And he sunk.
Hit track 7
All right,
0
shift
0
fire.
9. Engaging track 7 0 0 4. Salvo fire.
Where are we at? I don't see us. Oh, there we are. All right, Roberts is right there. He's shifting fire to this target. I can't contact him. His radio is off. So we're going to shoot him.
Track 7 0 0 4.
What is the name of this guy? I don't know. This is the Communist class general cargo ship.
Track 7 0 0 4. Surface contact detected.
Oh, can we zoom in and see it? I can't read scribble. So whatever that is, that's the name of the ship. It's on the back here too. Oh, there you go. Whatever that means. It's about to mean fishing reef. See what kind of secondaries we get off this.
Hit track 7 0 0 4.
It's the Gregory Dmitriev. All right, thank you. Cool. Boom. Good hits. All right, he's sunk. Ceasefire, ceasefire.
Ceasefire track.
Okay. So we stopped 2 of the 5 merchant ships.
Track 7 0.
Yeah, see now that we're shooting people, the merchants are identifying themselves in a hurry. They're like, yeah, that's us. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to evade these torpedoes and call it a win. But I don't want to do that before we know we did successfully evade. So I'm going to change speed back to 0. I'll stop.
I'll stop. Maneuvering eye.
And then light off your sonar again.
Transmit active sonar.
It's really dumb that...
Sonar eye. Multiple hostile
Oh.
submerged
Oh,
submarine.
wow. Did you shoot at me?
Submerged
You
submarine.
jackass.
Detected.
You sure did.
Ahead flank. Maneuvering
I wonder if I can get a counter shot on him.
We'll go. Whip it away.
Oh, shit. What? Oh, okay. He shot tube mounted. Did I not tell you to shoot ASRock? What the fuck? Okay, hold on a second. Ah, I told him he used the wrong weapon. My bad.
Welcome aboard.
We'll go. Whip it away.
That's what I wanted you to shoot. Yeah. Get the weapon there now. All right.
Ceasefire track.
All right, get back on your evasion course. We're going to outrun these weapons. And we'll do the we'll do the math again. Just real quick. The submarine is actually right there. So the submarine definitely sped up. I'm going to put his position right here. So he's doing something more than 5 knots, that's for sure. Yeah, for sure. And he shot that a few minutes ago. So we'll give him a 2 nautical mile range, and we'll grow that. All right, and so these torpedoes. So what he should do is he should start chucking out noisemakers again. But we don't have the means to defeat him. So we did turn the merchants around, though. I'll turn the Roberts around here. Make sure everybody's up to speed. Okay. Like we're not authorized to invade, Cuban waters. Good evasion course going to be around about there. Make sure he's at 28 knots. You need to be going faster, dude. Ahead flank.
Maneuvering eye.
Okay, that's his best speed. That's fine. That's all he can do. And I don't expect any of those torpedoes to hit. The whole point is to just not get shot. And we're going to move him out of range. And once we evade these weapons, that'll be it.
Air. Contact detected.
So sometimes ASW warfare is about managing submarine operations. Like we did limit the submarine's ability to protect those merchants by keeping him engaged to the east. That allowed the Roberts to get within guns range and effectively eliminate 4 combatants. So that was good. Let's catch up on what you're doing. Flipping them over counts as turning them around? Yeah. It definitely counts. It'd be nice if they added a little bit more to the radar menu, because you can do a lot by just communicating with ships, before the guns start firing, right? Once you get into a engagement, it's off. But, oh, yeah, he's already dropping noisemakers. So we have an updated position on him right there. These torpedoes are hell-bent to get to him, but they'll run out of fuel. They don't have enough fuel to even get to that point. But he doesn't know that. I am a little confused that the scenario said, it made a note that there were 5 merchants, and we only know of 2. But we have good radar coverage, and unless the merchants are like way over here, we have no way of knowing that. So I'm just going to bring all my ships back into their picket position. This is called the Straits of Florida right here. We'll get them back that way. And all we're really waiting on now is those torpedoes to make sure that they don't hit us. I'll compress a little bit of time so we're not sitting here waiting for... they'll probably run for half an hour is what I think. So if we don't get hit by in-game time, 0730, we will call it a win. And we'll see what the debrief screen says. That's assuming we don't get new radar contacts. Everybody's got their sensors up. So we got full radar coverage with the Roberts, the McDonough, the Henderson. It's probably 5 random. And if that's the case, maybe you don't want to say that in the briefing, because you don't want to give the player all the details. It just says, hey, look for 5. Or maybe in the description, put up to 5. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there he is. Updated position. He is moving south. Yeah, right there. Still not going very fast. So what we could do, like I said, we could rush into range, drop torpedoes on him, maybe get a hit. But then we would not have time to get back outside his counterfire range. And he'd probably shoot before we did by a significant amount of time. So we'd be essentially sacrificing one of our destroyers to sink this submarine, which you could argue is a fair 1-to-1, but it's not very fair to the people of the Kennedy. I'm sure the sailors on this ship were like, that's not very fair. Yeah. All right, good scenario. Very happy with this. We're at 0730 right now. Again, the scenario author his name is Finnish Jaguar, and it's available on Steam's Workshop. Very good scenario. I love it. I even learned something from about that rim missile I didn't even know about. So good for me. All right, we're going to exit. We're going to see what the description is. Decisive victory, 1,000%. Sank 2 Comars, which were the ships shooting sticks at us. Our chaff defeated 3 of the sticks and our point defense got a lucky shot on the fourth one and blew it up right before it hit the ship. Good stuff. Good stuff. So all of our ships are undamaged. Yeah, very good victory. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take a short break and we're going to play another scenario. So don't go anywhere. But I'm going to go get a refill, take a comfort break, and we'll be right back, okay? Be right back. Right. How y'all doing? We back. We back. Whew. Get my headphones on here. Gotta have headphones. Hey, we're good. Put my glasses on so I can see what's going on here. How we doing? Good. Ready to do it again? Yeah, we're gonna do another one. Hey, Fish, thanks for doing the Discord link. If you want to join our Discord, you're welcome. It's being posted on YouTube right now. Good job. All right, scenarios. There is another one called Oscar Class Attacks a U.S. Carrier Group. So this is very interesting. This is a simulation of what we feared might happen in the 1980s. The Oscar-class nuclear-powered submarine, Oscars 1, Oscar 2, they carry 24 anti-ship missiles, and they can launch them all in one salvo if they wanted to. And so part of the design of the Aegis combat system was to defeat an incoming salvo of really hundreds of missiles. but just one submarine could launch 24 at any range that the submarine chose, within 100 nautical miles maybe, depending on the mod of the missile, and attack a whole fleet. And it was called the carrier killer for that reason by the Russians. We just called it Training Day in the Navy. But we're going to simulate this type of situation here, where an Oscar-class submarine is hell-bent on attacking an American fleet in the middle of the Atlantic, and we're going to try and defeat him. The description doesn't have any more specific goals than that, which I'm okay with that. So just understand that I don't know what else is out there. So here's our scenario.
Surface contacts detected.
Our
Track
mobile.
7002 is classified. Neutral merchant.
All right, so we have a number of ships in our fleet. Let's go to the flight deck and let's get them off the ground. It's an anti-submarine scenario, so we're going to get some ASW planes up. Radar plane up. Couple of combat air patrol up. All right. Now our carrier group is being protected by these ships. The biggest one of the more capable ones, is the Virginia. This is one of our nuclear-powered cruisers.
Welcome aboard.
So we're gonna light off all of his sensors.
Radar eye.
He's gonna light up the
Surface search on.
electromagnetic spectrum with all sorts of
Transmat active sonar.
everything.
Sonar eye.
Here we have a submarine. Or is it? There it is. Dance. Or Dace. It's not Dance. I'm going to have him deploy his towed array
Stream the towed array.
and slow down.
Eye. Surface contact detected.
Change speed, ahead 1/3.
Ahead 1/3. Maneuvering eye.
All right, so we have a number of radar, visual, and sonar contacts. Excellent. What is this? All right, so we have a supply ship being escorted by a Perry. I'm going to go ahead and have him light off.
Transmat active sonar.
Have him turn on his sensors. To decoy 2. We'll have him... Oh. Get on him. Flight deck? Yeah, there you go. Have him take off his... have his helicopter take off. And we got Roberts out here by himself. Roberts was the hero of the last one, but this is a different class of ship. This is a Perry class. It didn't shift. Sorry. Hold on. What's going on here? Yeah, he is by himself. He's just out here doing his own thing. Okay, that's fine.
Transmat active sonar.
He's going to have his sonar light off. I'm also going to get his ASW helicopter off the deck. All right, we have Mahler Flight 1 already up in the air. Great. All right, so this is the S3 Viking, I think it was called.
On station.
And this was our very capable, fixed wing, carrier capable,
Roger.
anti-submarine warfare plane.
4.
And we got rid of them because they were effective. Well, they needed to replace them and they just didn't. They had a plan to replace them and they did not. So here's our Tomcat flight. We're going to put these guys up at 10,000 feet for deconfliction. Caps at 10,000. ASW plane is going to be at 500.
Surface search on. Radar eye. Roger. Go to altitude 500.
That's his wingman back there. Carrier should be launching more aircraft. I'm not sure why it's not. Did I not give the order? Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, it says I didn't give the order. Okay, that's fine. Give it again.
On station.
And we want more S3s up. Okay, we're good. Make sure that's going on up there. Okay. Okay, tar box. Help me out here. Identify some of these targets. Normally you wouldn't use Tomcat to do that, but I'm just trying to get an idea of what's going on before the missiles start flying. Oh, wow. The AWACS is part of the Mahler flight for some reason. What? Okay, I don't know why, but don't do that. Formation. Leave formation. Yeah, for some reason the AWACS had formed up with the Vikings. That's kind of funny. Kind of funny. All right, let's start laying some sonar buoys around the sonar contact, boys.
On station.
That was not what I wanted him to do, but let's see what he's going to do now.
Surface contact detected.
Uh-oh.
Track 70.
I'll tell you what, check fire.
Ceasefire. Track.
I don't know. Not sure what's going on here with this command. Fuck. Okay. Oh. Okay. I was looking at one plane and ordering a different one. So that's what was going on.
Roger.
Okay.
Turn 337.
Okay, let's watch this happen. Okay. Now they're doing what I'm telling them to do.
On station.
I got to fix that other plane that I gave confusing orders to. I'm sure they're wondering,
On
what?
station.
They're like, we're not even taking off yet. And you're telling us to drop sonar buoys. Now that they've taken off, we're going to ceasefire these
On
knuckleheads.
station.
And we're going to start identifying targets.
Roger. Turn 049. Roger. Turn 286. Roger. Turn 350.
All right, on the bright side, we do have 2 AWACS in the air now. Not a bad thing. Waste of gas.
Roger. Go to altitude. On station.
Have him turn on his radar.
Air search on. Radar eye.
Whew.
Surface contact detected.
All right, tar box 1's already done his job. Good job. Want you to...
VID track.
Once we get everybody visually identified, I'll put them back up at their 10,000 feet. It's like the world's most expensive visual identification plane. Okay.
Roger. Turn 234. Track 7004 is classified. Neutral merchant.
Okay. So I'm going to put sonar buoys between our 2 fleets and then around the replenishment ship.
Contact detected. Roger. Buoy away.
We got to get these buoy fields going. Okay. Tar box is identifying that. Okay, we got our first buoy out over here. That's obviously a merchant. I'm going to let him finish that pattern, though. Dance has no other sonar contacts, so he can speed back up again. I had, oh, what? No. Dance. Get to the right.
Buoy away. Surface contact detected.
I keep saying dance. It's Dace. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna get crap for that. Head standard.
Ahead standard. Return to course. 05.
Okay, so we have lots of new visual contacts. You there. What's your speed? 12 knots. You're going to reposition, navigate, head flank.
Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye. Track
So he's going to launch that string of buoys.
Classified.
Tarbox Flight 1 is identifying that target. Oh, I paused. I think he is. Okay. There's more context to the east that Tarbox can look at.
VID, Trek.
So the map is going to get cluttered with sonar buoys. There's nothing I can do about that. We've got to find this Oscar, and I'm going to start with the positions right in front of me, and then I'm going to go to right around me, and then we're going to expand that. That's kind of the sonar plan here.
Buoy away.
What is your altitude? Okay, let's get you up to 37,000 feet. 34,000.
Roger. Go to altitude 3. Roger. Turn 317.
Right, here's my electronic warfare plane. So if the submarine wants to attack the carrier,
Roger.
my intent is to put this plane between us and the missiles and jam those missiles. That's the plan. Okay, I should have another helicopter somewhere.
Roger. Turn 08.
Let's make sure everybody's radar is on.
Away.
There we go.
Air search on. Radar eye.
Get a little bit bigger. All right, so who...
Buoy away.
Got that buoy there. Let's go to Mahler Flight 1, and we need to start expanding our...
Submerged submarine.
Got him.
Contact detected.
Where's he at? Boom. Okay. Okay.
Buoy away. On stick. Buoy away.
Get them, boys. Trying to find Mahler Flight 1. Where the hell is it? There he is. This flight here.
Buoy away. Buoy away.
All right, that's a torpedo. So we want to get replenishment ship. Everybody,
Turn to course. 0.
best
9.
speed.
Hell my. Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye.
Where's that torpedo at? Okay. Yeah, he might be dead. His speed's not good. He doesn't have any decoys. It's a Wakecombing anyway, it wouldn't matter. What's your best speed?
Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye.
Okay. Not much I can do about that. All right, this flight of 2 is over top of the submarine. We're going to just put a weapon on him. This is Mahler Flight 3. I think. Yeah. All right, what am I doing wrong?
Track 7009 is
Oh.
classified. Hostile submerged submarine. Engage track 7009.
So this helicopter is going to keep an eye on these torpedoes. Right here. Come on, baby. so we can monitor our evasion. Coming torpedo. Oh my god, I can't read that number. There it is.
Whip it away.
I'm going to put a 20 nautical mile circle around him. All right, we want to get outside that circle as a start.
Buoy away.
If we can get a classification on the submarine, we'll know what kind of weapons he uses, and then we'll get an exact range. But that's all we have for right now. All right, we do have torpedoes in the water on this guy. Good lord, where's the torpedo at? There it is. Why is it going up? Oh shit, is this guy in firing position? Uh-oh.
On station.
Alright, torpedo's tracking. Could be a noisemaker.
Engage track 7012.
I'm not sure what he's going after. Alright, wow, he was right there. So that torpedo's right on top of him. Our carrier fleet's not inside his torpedo range, but definitely inside his missile range. If we can keep him evading, he can't launch his missiles.
Multiple hostile submerged submarine. Contacts detected.
Yeah, it's all these noisemakers he's dropping. It's okay. I've got more torpedoes than he's got noisemakers. Now, we do not want to drive necessarily directly into the weapon envelope, right? So I'm going to take the entire carrier group and just move them over here.
Course 304.
So we're not going to do flight operations at this moment. We're going to reposition our course, and then we'll, if we need to, launch more planes. I don't expect that we'll need to. All right, what is... I'm just trying to get sonar range information. What is the range of our sonar buoys here? Let's put this over the sonar buoy. It's very close to whatever this is. So it's about 2 nautical miles, I'm going to guess. So we want to be putting sonar buoys every 4 miles, roughly. So that's your job. Just going to stay one leap ahead of him. This torpedo's back on him again. This torpedo's doing really good. I'm just going to keep this guy running.
Engaging track 70.
We'll watch this engagement. It's kind of fun to watch, you know. See how these guys work. He's got his little bay doors open. It's almost like a bomber. He's got 2 Mark 46s in each one. And one of them's about to drop out.
7008 is classified. Neutral merchant.
No war crimes yet? Yeah, no, not yet. We've only hit legitimate targets today. So, good day, right?
Multiple hostile submerged submarine. Contacts detected.
Just make sure there's no other submarines that I don't know about. Tar Box 1 needs to keep identifying ships.
VID track. Hit track 7009.
Did they get a hit with that weapon? No way. Hold on a second. Somebody got it. Somebody got a hit. Yeah. I'll be damned. There's the torpedo. So the submarine's potentially wounded.
Buoy away. Track 7007 is classified. Neutral, merchant.
One of these noisemakers is a submarine. Don't know which one. We're kind of letting our torpedoes figure it out right now. It might be that one. 0009 or 7009.
Hit track.
Yeah, that's the submarine.
709.
Unlike the movies, torpedoes don't explode on noisemakers. Okay, cool. We're going to do a battle damage assessment with a sonar buoy on him. And we're going to take this opportunity to launch another flight of 2. Flight of 2 and go. Okay. Let's get back to the action here. So potentially 2 hits on the Oscar. There's a sonar buoy here. It's kind of hard to see, but it drops down this sensor. Let's see if I can get up close to it. All right, so that's the float at the top. That's the weight. That's the sensor. These things are battery powered. They last a couple hours. And he's still right here. We don't have any information on him other than sonar information. This torpedo is still circling near his position, so, but it's turning the wrong way right now. All right, you got one more weapon. Let's go ahead and drop it. Oh, he sank. Well, I'll be... Shoot. Well, we got him. That was easy. Huh. So we don't have a classification on him, so we can't actually see the visual, or else I'd show you guys. But yeah, that Oscar sunk. Kind of a quick scenario. Not too complicated. He does have weapons in the water, so we're going to wait for them to run out. I wonder if it'll tell me what kind of weapon it is. 6576. No. I'd like to bring up the unit reference on this weapon, but I don't see how I can do that. Because the unit reference would give you the range. One thing I can do is I'll tell you what the real range is. I'll tell you that.
On station.
This is the Oscar, right? Okay.
Go your way.
We're going to break out the books while we wait on the torpedoes to run out of gas. The Book of Jane says, there he is. Papa, Charlie, Gulf. Russians had a lot of submarines back in the day. A lot of submarines. Oh, what happened to the Oscar? Hold on a second. Did I miss it? Yeah, they had the Zulu class, which was a weird one. I don't think we did a briefing on the Zulu class. This is kind of a knockoff or a one-off. Huh. All right, let's try this again. Apparently I missed the Oscars. We have the Whiskey class. These are all diesel boats here. Zulu's diesel. Alpha, Victor. Victor 1, Victor 2. Whiskey, Tango. November class. November was really cutting edge for Soviet technology. It was like their first real nuclear fast boat. Why can't I find the Oscar? It's embarrassing. Should be right here. There's the Charlie. Yeah. Papa, Charlie 1 and 2. Does Jane's 1980 not have the Oscar? What? Echo 2. And the Juliet. That's odd. Am I missing a page in my book? That might be it. Papa, Charlie 1 and 2. SSGNs. I'm in the right section. Huh. That is odd. Yeah, okay, I guess it doesn't know. Oh, well. I know it's like, I think the real range was something in the vicinity of 25 to 30 miles because it's Wakecombing. It just, and it's the 6576. So what this means is that in 1965, they built, 1976 is the year. It's a 65 centimeter torpedo. So it's big and it's got lots of gas. It goes forever. And it's Wakecombing. It's also going the wrong direction. So I think we're fine. What is this? That's one of his torpedoes there. Okay. And yeah, the mile, if memory serves, it's between 25 and 30 miles. Yeah. So, and it takes like an hour to get to the 30 mile point, or 45 minutes. So it's a long running torpedo. Yeah. Jane's 1983. I don't have that. Oh, I do. Oh my God. Haha. I have all the Jane's books. I'm a Janesaholic. I can't help myself. They want too much money now for them. If anyone from Jane's hears this, lower your damn prices. It's ridiculous. They want like $2,500 for a book now. $2,500 is dumb. Yep. Brapuchka. That's the one that we just sank. Oh, sorry. I don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. What is that talking about? Jesus Christ, Darren, shut the fuck up. Holy shit. Look, I'm an old man that says random ass shit. That's all that was. We're going to find it. It's right here. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so I guess Jane's didn't know about it until, well, it wasn't commissioned, I guess, but that's fine. 1978, they laid it down, so I figured it'd be in the Jane's, but maybe they didn't write it up until I actually went to sea. Okay, so I'm just looking for that 6576 and see if it has any data on it. other than it does carry 16 of them. We know that. 24 missile tubes that are exterior of the people tank, pressure hull. It doesn't have any range data on the actual weapons. It's got speed. Oh, wait. 25.6 nautical miles? No. That's the 65 centimeter equates to 25.6 inches. Okay. It's very close to the range, though, in nautical miles, ironically. That's just a coincidence. The missiles are really bad. Do not mess with them. Protection. Yeah, it doesn't have a specific range for that torpedo. Just know that it's in that vicinity. And the game does have the range. You have to click on the unit that shot it. And the unit that shot it is sunk. And we did not classify it. So we did not, I can't use the unit reference apparently. Okay. Good call. This is a good scenario. I believe it's made by the same guy, by the way. I'm not going to hang my hat on that because I'm not sure. But the guy that made the Cuban Missile Crisis scenario we played this morning is Finnish Jaeger or Finland Jaeger. It's Finnish Jaeger, yeah. I assume he's from Finland. And it was a really good scenario, and I think he made this one too. This is a good test. If that submarine gets a shot off, you're in trouble. And not torpedo, I'm talking about missiles. And he's been apparently, wow, spoiler alert, I hate that. This is the bad part about streaming this. He is somewhere between our carrier fleet and our replenishment group. Now, that might be a random thing. Hopefully, he randomized that position, so it's not always right there. But you want to find him and get him evading before he makes his way to periscope depth, gets a snoop tray fire control solution with that radar, and then hammers 24 missiles into either the replenishment group. I don't know if he was going after that. That is who he shot the torpedoes at first, though, so that might have been the target. Or at your carrier. And man, if you don't deal with those missiles, you're going to lose your carrier. Because the SN-19 shipwreck missile that the Oscar shoots is a big ass missile. It's like shooting a school bus at you, and the driver's angry, and they got about 2,000 rather kilograms of explosives behind them instead of a bunch of screaming children. And they're Russian. They might have the screaming children too. But imagine getting hit by a school bus at Mach 1. And then it explodes. Yeah, it's nuts. It's a stupid missile. They were hoping, they being the Soviets of the era, to get at least one hit. Because they knew if they got one hit on a ship, it might blow the ship apart if it's a frigate. It will certainly sink a carrier if you get a couple of them on it. Because it'll just burn the carrier down. Americans really good at damage control. But, if you damage the carrier enough and the fire spreads fast enough at the same time, because of multiple hits, it's going to be really hard to save the carrier. So anyway, great scenario. It was kind of short because we found the Oscar right away. Had the Oscar got the shot off, it would have been completely different, much longer too. So really good. All right, we're going to wrap it up here for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll do this again on Wednesday. I do Sea Power every Wednesday. Love this game. Wish I had more time to play it more often. We do one stream with fans on Saturday. And that's on the Discord. So if you're interested in playing games with me, that's where to go to do it. And we do it every Saturday. We usually start right before lunch and just go for a couple hours, have some fun. Right now we're playing a game called Breakpoint. It's an older Ubisoft game. Don't hold that against it. It's one of the last Ubisoft games that was good. And that's what we're doing on Saturday, okay? I'll see you all then. Thanks for watching, everybody.